guys, it's Kat and I'm back today to talk about Empties. I don't think I've done many Empties this year, but I do have my Empties basket that is full. But I'm going to go through each product and tell you what I think about it after using it entirely, and then also letting you know if it's something that I would repurchase or not. If I don't mention the name properly or you missed me saying something, I'll have all of these listed in the description box. I'm going to start with this guy because it is at the top and it is shouting at me because the lid has broken and it's gonna drip. This is by Lush. It's the Yog Nog Shower Gel. I love this. I think this is so good. It's a Christmas scent. It smells like creme caramel. So what do they say on this? Caramel and custard. There you go, creme caramel. This is really lovely. It does have random shimmer in it, which I think is unnecessary, but it's just a really beautiful, sweet, decadent scent. I do have a smaller one of these in my shower. My kid uses it. So this was half used by me, half used by my kid because it smells delicious. And I can also tell you it makes fairly decent bubbles in a bath. So that's how we use this up. Love it. I do have another one. I would repurchase it. Probably not this big one because it's so big. It took so long to use up. And by the time we used it up, the lid is broken. But yeah, next Christmas, I'll probably pick up another one of these. All right, I used up a few brush sponge cleansers. So I've got two from Daiso. It's the Puff Sponge Detergent. These you can buy in Daiso. They're $2.80. I've got a whole box of them. They're really great. And then I've also got the Uemura Sponge Cleaner. More expensive, but this shit cleans a sponge like no other. So these are just more accessible to me and cheaper. But if you really want to thoroughly wash your sponge, this, because it's very runny, it gets into the sponge really quickly, breaks down the product, really, really good. Love all of these, would repurchase all of these. I do have backups of all of these. So I love them. They make my life a bit easier, which is great. All right, body lotion. This is just by Vaseline. It's the Fresh Glow Skin Serum. It's got 1% niacinamide and it's got citrus extract. This is just your typical really thin, almost watery consistency body lotion. So it's not like a body butter. It's not thick and really moisturizing. This is one that you'd probably wear in summer. You want something like fresh and light and makes you sort of cool down a little bit. I find when I go to bed at night, if it's too hot, I need something really like light and almost like gel. This is not a gel consistency, but you understand, like a wet product to sort of cool down my feet and legs. And this is that sort of product. So it's not super nourishing. It does have niacinamide. I don't think it really did anything, to be fair, beyond make your skin more comfortable. It did have a slight citrusy scent. I didn't mind it. I got it really cheap. Didn't love it, probably wouldn't go out of my way to repurchase it. I'll probably try other things before I went back to this because this is just like dime a dozen. All right, this is the Good Molecules Pineapple Exfoliating Powder. So this is formulated with fruit enzymes, vitamin C and rice powder to soften, brighten and gently exfoliate the skin. This is a glass bottle of powder. You pour a little bit in your hands, like especially your wet hands, rub them together and it creates a sort of scrub, like a paste, I guess. And depending on how much water you put in, it can be more scrubby or less scrubby. I like the concept of this. I really like the Dermalogica Daily Microfoliant, which is the same concept. I just feel like that one is so much better. It's so much more expensive, but I feel like it's worth it. That one actually feels like my skin is being sort of exfoliated and like reinvigorated and something's going on. This one just feels like I'm like mixing together flour, like as in cooking flour, in a paste and smearing it on my face with a slight bit of scrub. I don't feel like this did anything, is what I'm going to say. So for me, I would not repurchase this. I like the concept of it and I like the price point of this, which is, I'll have it on the screen. But for me, I just don't see any amazing results from it, so it's a miss. All right, I've got two cleansing balms here. One is from Farmacy. It's the Green Clean cleansing balm. Then from the brand Mizon, which I believe is a Korean brand, it's the Cicaluronic cleansing balm. This has hyaluronic acid in it. Look, these both were really lovely cleansing balms. So this one was bigger. It was this nice sort of Tiffany blue color, really nice at melting makeup away, washed away really easily. Both of these emulsify completely. They don't leave a greasy layer on your skin, which is generally why I don't like cleansing balms. I prefer cleansing oils over cleansing balms because balms can leave that sort of balmy feel, which makes me break out. It's not good for oily skin. But these both completely wash off. You don't need to then follow it up with like a cloth to really remove it. These just wash off really beautifully with warm water. I'll often double cleanse with a gel cleanser afterwards, but these are great at removing makeup. Both of these have very similar consistencies and I like them both. I'll definitely use them both. This one I think is a little bit more, I don't know, there's something a little bit more that I like about it. I find that once it sort of works into your face, it sort of does turn into an oil and it's a nice experience. Also, I love the scent of this one. It's like lime and I love citrus and I love like this zesty sort of wake up lime feel. It's just really, really gorgeous. So yeah, I would reuse both of these in a heartbeat, but I would definitely repurchase Green Clean from Farmacy. I currently have the cherry one in my bathroom, so I'm using that one up, and then I think I've got one from Fourth Ray Beauty, and then once I've finished those I'll repurchase this one. I also prefer this one over the cherry one, which I think was limited edition, but that one's a bit funkier of a scent. This vibrant sort of lime scent is just tick tick tick, love it. So definitely product I would repurchase. Cotton rounds, these are from Health and Beauty. I don't know, 100 pure cotton round pads. I used to use these a lot. I've now switched to sort of bamboo ones or microfiber ones, but I still need to use these for nail polish. So I occasionally use these. I still have them around, but I don't use them on my face anymore. Any toners or liquid exfoliants I use with my hand. So I'll pour some in my hand, wipe it on. Any micellar water I'll use with like a microfiber pad or a bamboo pad. Again, these are purely used for nail polish removal, which I can't use reusable things with nail polish. So yeah, I would repurchase those because I need them. All right, let's get through some skincare pretty quickly so we can start talking about makeup. Okay, we've got Bondi Sands. This is the Golden Hour Brightening Vitamin C Serum. It's got 10% vitamin C. Look, vitamin C can irritate my skin. I'm just going to put it out there. If it's very active, it really makes my skin red, really irritated. And I think that's where I sort of had like a barrier breakdown and my skin was really sort of easily irritated. I think it was from using vitamin C too much. So I'm very wary of using vitamin C. This one also, I've just squeezed a little bit out. It's very yellow. It's very yellow. That usually means the vitamin C has turned, like it's gone bad. I didn't see any results from this. I didn't see any good results. I didn't see any bad results. I don't love this. I wouldn't repurchase it. It's like a serum for the sake of serums for me anyway. So yeah, I've got a couple other things from this range. They're under eye serum. I think it's a vitamin C one, but it's got a bit of like a shimmer in it, so it's a bit brightening. I think I like that better. This, simply because I don't like vitamin C and simply because I don't think this actually did enough, I wouldn't repurchase this personally. I've got the Uemura, I think it's the Tsuya Skin Youthful Vita Glow Activator. This was very, very liquidy. It had a pearlescent sort of finish to it, so it does sort of make your skin slightly glowy, sort of. Again, I like Uemura skincare. I've tried some of their serums and I'm like, this is lovely. I think this product, it's very, very gel liquidy and I feel like it was nice feel, but again, didn't do much long term. So probably not one I would repurchase. Little mini from Dermalogica. This is the Skin Smoothing Cream. It's just a moisturizer, very, very basic moisturizer. Like some Dermalogica products are very, very basic. They work, but they're very expensive. This is probably one I wouldn't repurchase as a basic moisturizer because I feel like it's too expensive. I like some of the other products that I feel like I get better results. This I feel like you can sort of dupe with a lot of cheaper brands, so I probably wouldn't repurchase this. It's just quite basic. Sunscreens, I've got two sunscreens. I liked both of these, but I liked one better than the other. I actually like the ultraviolet. This is the Queen Screen Lightweight Sunscreen, SPF 50. I like this one a lot more. It is a little bit oily, but it's very thin. It's like you use a dropper. It's very liquidy, the consistency, and it sits really nicely under foundation and makeup. I find that if you were to use this just on my skin anyway on a daily basis without any makeup, it can make me look a little bit greasy, but doesn't feel heavy and greasy. It's very thin, but it gives that sort of glow greasiness effect, which I don't love. But if I was planning on wearing this without makeup over the top, I'd just like put a little bit of powder or something to blot down some of that shine. But really comfortable sunscreen, really effective, really lovely. Would repurchase that one. All right, my kid is super grumpy. He hasn't had a nap today and he won't let me finish working. So I'm gonna finish this tomorrow. All right, a few days later, but let's finish this off. I left off with sunscreen. I've got one other sunscreen that I used up in the last couple of months, and it's by Paula's Choice. This is the Super Light Daily Wrinkle Defense Tinted Base SPF 30. Now, I really like Paula's Choice actives. I think they work really well on my skin. Sunscreen I wasn't too impressed by. I do like that this is a zinc-based sunscreen. So it's a physical sunscreen, which is great. My problem with physical sunscreens, they usually break me out. Like 9 out of 10 that I've tried like leave like welts on my face after a few days of use. This one didn't do that, which is great. But this does have a universal tint, which was this like light pink color that made me look really unwell. Now I understand that zinc is white, so often brands will tint their zinc-based sunscreens to make it look a little bit more daily wearable, but a universal tint it is not. Even on my fair skin, it didn't work, and I have better sunscreens, I think is what I'm saying. Yeah, good physical sunscreen, but I have better chemical sunscreens that I would prefer to reach for instead of this. So yeah, there we go. A few more skincare items before I get on to makeup. I've got the Paul & Joe hand cream. I loved this hand cream. So it's a tin. I currently have body lotion in it because my kid thinks it's fun to open this up and distribute it to the family, like, here, some for your hand, there you go. So whenever this is empty, he asks me to put something in it to fill it up. But the product that was in here was beautiful. It was such a buttery, thick, like luxurious hand cream. Sounds very greasy and sounds like something that I normally wouldn't like, but this wasn't so oily and greasy. It was just really buttery and smooth and like really sort of decadent. I really enjoyed it. I like the little tin. I'm going to keep the tin for something else. I don't know what. Now I want to moisturize my hands. So yeah, I would repurchase this if I could find it. I think Paul & Joe's, I don't think it's available in Australia. It's very hard to find. And I think also from memory, a lot of their releases are like limited edition. So I don't know if this hand cream is a permanent product. But the last time I saw Paul & Joe in store was when I was in Japan. So, but this is a lovely hand cream. So I would repurchase it because it's nice, but I don't think I can. 2 little sachets from Mecca Cosmetica. This is the Hydrating Moisturiser with Hyaluronic Acid. I really like this moisturiser. Similar to how I really like their sunscreen. It's sort of thick, but like rich, but like not greasy. And it just makes your skin feel super smooth rather than feeling heavy and greasy and gross. So I love the sunscreen. I also really liked this moisturiser. I looked at it in store. It's $50. It's quite a lot for your daily moisturiser. So I feel like once I use up more of my moisturisers and I've got none left, I might justify buying that. But right now I don't need another moisturiser just sitting in a cupboard waiting to be used. So it's on my radar. The samples, I think I got like 3 applications out of each sample, and it's convinced me that it's a nice moisturiser and I do eventually want to buy it, but not so much so that I'm going to go out and get it tomorrow. Let's get on to some base products, and these, I believe, are they all Project Pan products? I think they might be. I've got 2 foundations. One is the Revlon Candid foundation. This is in the shade 220 Sand Beige. I think the color was a little bit like, the undertone was off for me, but could still make it work. I really like this foundation. I think it's a nice sort of natural medium coverage, so it covers enough of your imperfections, but it doesn't make your skin look too caked on with makeup. It wears really nicely. I find the Revlon foundations always wear nicely on me. This sort of natural finish, I think it's really lovely every day. My only gripe about this is it's 22 mils. Standard foundation is 30 mils. And I feel like even though I buy these when they're 50% off at Chemist Warehouse, I still feel like you should get the 30 mils. That's my gripe with it, but it's a really nice product. If you want a nice natural everyday sort of foundation with a little bit of coverage, I recommend this. And I've heard some people say that they've tried it and they love it. And this would be one of those foundations I recommend to people maybe trying out foundation for the first time. It's easy to apply. It's not too daunting. It's not too much coverage, and it tends to work well, I think, on a lot of different skin types. So I would repurchase this, but I've got a drawer full of foundation, so I'm not repurchasing it yet. This is another one I liked, but I don't think I liked it as much as the Revlon Candid foundation. This is a La Roche-Posay corrective liquid foundation. This is in the shade light beige. It actually worked really, really well for me, and it almost matched my coloring perfectly. This is probably slightly more higher coverage. So yeah, it took me a little bit longer to use up because I use less of it. I really like La Roche-Posay skincare. I find their skincare works really well for my skin. My skin responds really well to it. So the foundation was no different. My skin responded well. It just, some days I don't think it mixed well with other skincare products I had on. So it sort of sometimes sat a bit funny. Overall, I liked it. But again, comparing it to the Revlon Candid, I think I like that one a bit better. But I like the ingredients and the claims of this a little bit more. So it's not something I would rule out buying again. It's just not something I need right now. Two powders, and I probably wouldn't repurchase either of these. I've got the Mecca Max Banana Bake Skin Filter. So this is a banana powder. It was a little bit yellow toned. Not really my skin tone. I don't need a banana powder. I was just using it to use it up, but the yellow tone is quite minimal. So I could still wear it, especially on days where I had quite pink toned foundation that I want to neutralize. I thought it was quite nice. I used it up really quickly. It set base nicely. It wore throughout the day really nicely. So I've got no problem with this powder formula. It's just the color I probably wouldn't repurchase. And Mecca Max is a fairly affordable vegan brand in Australia. So yeah, if I had to have other shades of this, I'm not sure, but it's a nice pressed powder. It worked well at setting my base, just the shade I wouldn't repurchase. I've got the Shiseido powder. Now I'm gonna have to have the name in the description box, which I'll have alongside everything else I talk about, because this is in Japanese. But this is the matte version, and I didn't love this for two reasons. One, it's got a mesh that was like impossible to penetrate. The mesh is so thick. It's like you're trying to get powder through leggings, and it's just too thick. So it's very hard to pick up product. I had to literally cut it open. But also this was so matte that like illuminating products didn't show up very well over the top, which is a strange concept that I've never experienced before, where the base is so sort of dry matte that you can't then, like you try to put a highlighter over the top, even a powder highlighter, and it just sort of like brushes off. It didn't actually adhere. So it was, yeah, it was probably too matte, which is strange. So yeah, not my favorite, and it's pretty expensive. So I've tried better setting matte powders than this, so no to that. Concealer, this is the CoverGirl Outlast Extreme Wear Concealer. I didn't love this. I don't even know why I didn't love it. I just don't think it worked as well as other concealers that I have. Like, I always think the standard for me is Maybelline Fit Me. That works so well on me that if anything falls short, I don't see the point of using it. This did fall a little bit short. I don't think it blended as, like, it didn't sit as well under my eyes. Sometimes it did sort of emphasize like little fine lines and whatnot. It was not bad, like it was usable. I used it up, obviously. It was in my project pan. It took me all year to use up, but it wouldn't be something I would personally repurchase. But if I had it again, I would probably use it. It's usable. I ended up using this up by mixing it with SPF. And I used it as like a tinted SPF, which worked really well. I liked the effect of it, and I preferred using it that way than using it as a concealer. Now, I do actually have a category that I'll be getting to soon, which is products that I used the wrong way to use them up. This probably should have been in that, but because the majority of the time I did use it as a concealer, it's only in the last month that I was like, oh, I will tweak it. And I actually preferred using it that way. Yeah, I'm talking about it as a concealer, but yeah, didn't love it, wouldn't repurchase it, but it's usable, it's fine. 2 finishing sprays. I've got one from Grown Alchemist. This is the Hydra Mist Plus. I didn't like this. I think it smelled a bit funny. It might have been too old. It smelled a little bit like Play-Doh, and it was quite splurty. I don't think it did anything. I like the bottle. I think the bottle's nice. Tempted to sort of keep the bottle for something, but yeah, I would not repurchase that. I did like the Uemura Skin Perfector. This is in the scent Cypress. I do have 2 more of these. I've got Yuzu and the Cherry Blossom one, and I love them. They're some of the best finishing sprays I own, but I mainly wanted to use this one up because I didn't love the scent as much. This was very green, very herbal, I would say, which is not my fave, but I love the product in here. It was a nice finishing spray. It was a micro mister, so you have to spray it quite close and spray it quite a few times because it doesn't dispense much product, but it means that it's a nice mist you have. It's a nice even mist across your face, and it also had a little bit of oil, so it was like a dual phase product, had a tiny bit of oil on the top. Shake it up and it sort of brings it back. If you've got too much makeup on or powdery makeup on, you want it to look a little bit more fresh. This type of product really did bring it back and make it look really nice. So yeah, it's a more higher end spray, but I do love it. I'll just repurchase it in the yellow or the pink bottle because they, in my opinion, smell nicer. But lovely product. Really love this finishing spray. MAC Painterly Paint Pot. I love MAC Painterly Paint Pot. It is a great product. It's a product that I've used before. It's a product that I'd repurchase again. I probably won't repurchase it for a while. I think it took me over a year to use up in my project pan, but I miss it. It is a really nice tone for my eye skin color. It's a little bit too pink, a little bit too light, but really, really good as a base for shadows because it sticks to it really nicely, and sort of the lightness sort of amplifies the color a little bit more of the eyeshadow, I guess you would say. But I love paint pots. I love them because they work as a base for eyeshadow, but they also work as a cream eyeshadow. This video is cursed with toddler interruptions, but anyway, I was talking about my Painterly Paint Pot. I don't remember what I was saying about it, but essentially it's a great eyeshadow primer. It's a great cream eyeshadow. I love it. I used it as both, and this product lasts, like if you use it every day, pretty much lasts you a whole year. So great bang for your buck. I'm holding on to this to back to Mac it, but it's definitely something I'd repurchase in the future. I do have a few prolonged wear paint pots in different shades, so I'd prefer to use those up first and have 4 of them in my collection. But yeah, great product. It's a cult product for a reason. I love it. Eyeliner. This is the Pixi Eye Define Waterline eyeliner. This was actually quite a nice liner. The only reason I wouldn't repurchase this one is because it was black, and I tend to not wear black on my waterline, but I do wear brown most days on my waterline, and this was a really nice small pencil that was really creamy and really pigmented. So I would definitely look at buying different shades in this if you do want a good creamy pigmented waterline liner that applies easily, shows up on your waterline. I do like this Pixi one. I think it's really nice, but it is called Tight Line Black, and it's great for tight lining, which is putting it on the top, like the rim of the top lid, which helps sort of intensify your lashes. And if you find that you put mascara on and then you've got like that fleshy line just underneath, tight lining gets rid of that. It looks really like quite polished. So it is really good for the purpose that it's named after. I just don't tend to do that on a daily basis. That's like a special occasion thing. So I don't need this, but I would, yeah, repurchase it in like a brown or a bronze or something. 2 mascaras, and I like both of these mascaras. I've got the Estee Lauder Double Wear Zero Smudge Lengthening Mascara. It's a mini, and I've also got the Caution Extreme Lash Mascara by Hourglass. I like them both. I think they're both worth the high price tag. I think I used like this one for like a solid 3 or 4 months of like everyday use, and there's still a little bit left, but it was just getting a little bit dry. I would definitely repurchase either one of these in a full size, because I think a good mascara I feel like if you've got a bad mascara, it can ruin your like eye makeup. But if you have a good mascara, it can just make a really simple eye makeup look really good. And both of these were dramatic enough that you didn't need to apply 2 coats, didn't clump your lashes, it elongated. I think these were both really nice mascaras, and they're, yeah, both things that I would be happy to repurchase. All right, couple of lip products. I've got the Ultra Glossy Lip by Colourpop. This is one that was in my project pan, so it's got the markings on the side because I was tracking my progress, and it's in the shade Queen Cobra, which was like this clear shade with shimmer in it. Now, the shimmer was quite cool toned, so it was like a nudie clear shade with like a silvery sort of shimmer, which looked a little bit cool toned on me, but I did like it. It's a really nice feeling lip gloss. I love the Ultra Glossy Lips. They've got new formulas, like the Luxe lip glosses and the Luxe lip oils. I don't like those anywhere near as much as I like the Ultra Glossy Lips, but I feel like they're pulling back on them. They originally were way better with the doe foot applicator. This has the brush applicator, which is the more recent edition. I don't like it nearly as much, but the formula is great, and for the price, it's something that I would repurchase time and time again. They obviously discontinue a lot of shades, and they don't keep many fully stocked, which is really annoying. But if I was to place a Colourpop order these days, it would be for Ultra Glossy Lips, because I feel like these lip glosses can rival like the effect and the feel of higher end lip glosses, but they're pretty cheap. So yeah, bring back the Ultra Glossy Lip. In my opinion, they should have a permanent full range of them, and they're lovely lip glosses. They're highly underrated. Lana Lips, this is the Banana Balm. So it's a lip sheen 3-in-1. I bought a few Lana Lips products. I've got a strawberry flavored lip balm next to my bed. I like Lana Lips. I think their lip balms are nice and hydrating. I have tried some in the past that have actually dried out my lips once it's worn off. I think there was a lemon balm one that did that, so I would avoid that. This one didn't do that. This one, I thought there was something I didn't like about it. Banana is going to be a questionable scent for a lot of people. I actually think this wasn't banana-y enough. There's banana there, but it's sort of just sweet with a little bit of like musky sweetness. I was sort of hoping like a nice banana custardy sort of scent. I thought that could have been really nice. It's just a little bit lackluster, but the product itself is nice. And the reason I wouldn't repurchase this over other Lana Lips products is because it does have that shimmer in it. So it's a sheen balm. It's a 3-in-1 sheen balm. I don't know what the 3 things are. So it's supposed to be a lip conditioner, a luster sheen, and a lip smoother in one. I sort of feel like a lip conditioner and lip smoother go hand in hand. They're just sort of like 2 elements of the same thing. It's got added banana for a hint of happy, and it's 98% natural and 2% sheen. Now it's the sheen that bothers me the most out of this, because it is essentially what looks like, I'll try to get some out, like a little bit of a yellowy color lip balm. You put it on and it's sort of clear, but it does have this frosty sheen to it that looks frosty on the lips. It actually, yeah, you got to actually put it on very, very sheerly to not have that sort of white shimmer cast to it. And again, I don't think the banana is as delicious as I want it to be. If you really blend it out, you get rid of some of that sort of silvery sheen. But if you do put it on directly from the applicator, you often apply too much and it just looks a bit frosty. So I didn't like the sheen element of this. So I ended up using this as a night lip balm, and it was fine. It was nice, but I would repurchase other ones from the range over this one. All right, last empty before I get onto the products that I used in a different way to just get rid of them. This is the Kester Black, the Supersonic Top Coat. It's just a top coat. It dries nice and fast. I think it works really well at prolonging your nail polish so it stops chipping. My nails can chip. Like, I got pretty weak nails that tend to peel and split, and I find that nail polish on me chips after within 24 hours. But I find that with this top coat, it might extend it to like, I've got 24 hours of no chipping, and then it'll start chipping in like the 48-hour mark. So yeah, it doesn't sound super impressive, but compared to other top coats, I feel like it does a good job, and it does dry it quickly, which is great, because I always find that if you've got a top coat that takes ages to dry, that could ruin your manicure, because I literally find that whenever I put a top coat on, I've got like 5 minutes of letting it dry, and then I've got to run around and do something, and if it's not dry in that time, yeah, it gets mucked up. So yeah, I like this. I've got a backup of this, so I don't need to buy it. I enjoy it. It's good. It's also really good paired with their Miracle base coat, which I also love. I think their base coat's really, really great. And the combo of two works really well. All right, onto the products that I used up in a different way just to get rid of them. And it says something about the products. It either says that they weren't suited for me, or I didn't like them, or they just, yeah. Let's start with some hair products. These aren't products that I dislike. They're just not products that suit my hair. So I've got the SU hair mask from Davinair's, or Sue hair mask. You apply to damp hair after shampooing, leave it in for 5 to 15 minutes, then comb and rinse. Proceed with drying. I hate the idea of washing your hair, stepping out of the shower to put in a hair mask or something, wait 15 minutes, and then go rinse it out. Like, at the hairdressers, that makes a lot of sense, that you're sitting in a chair, you wash your hair in a basin. At home, no, mate, it's not going to happen. So the product was fine. The instructions I can't deal with. The way it's supposed to work, I can't deal with. So I just use this as an in-shower mask. So I would wash my hair, leave this on for like 5 minutes while I'm washing the rest of me or shaving my legs or whatever, and then I would rinse it out. It was nice. I don't think it did heaps to my hair, but it was a nice sort of conditioning mask. There we go. So I used up that in the wrong way. Same as this, it's another hair product. It's the Nano Microtherapy Treatment from Dry Fix. This is just a treatment for damaged hair, which I don't really have damaged hair, so it's not really suitable for me anyway, but I had it in my cupboard and I thought I'll use it up. And essentially what you're supposed to do with this is just apply it to damp hair and leave it in. But it makes my hair greasy and heavy, and it wasn't great. So it says do not rinse. I use this again as a conditioner. This should work well for people with damaged hair, because this actually contains broccoli seed oil and a microkeratin protein, which is supposed to surround the hair and sort of repair the hair shaft. So like seal structural gaps is what they're saying in the hair. So if you've got dry damaged hair, this might be really, really great. It might make your hair a lot smoother and a lot less frizzy. But because I don't have damaged hair, I don't dye my hair. I do dry my hair, but not excessively. Like, I don't blow dry it. I just sort of like run my fingers through it and sort of dry the roots. So for me, this doesn't really suit. And again, it sort of weighs down my hair. So I use this as a conditioner in the shower. It actually worked really nicely, but I did rinse it out. So I'm not getting the full benefits, but I also don't need the full benefits. So wouldn't repurchase that because it doesn't suit me. The rest are face products that I used on my body because I didn't love them. Firstly, I used the Mecca Max Fomo Gentle Gel Cleanser. This is a fine gel cleanser. It's just that I've got like 3-4 gel cleansers open at the moment, and they're all better than this. So I thought to use it up, I'll just use it as a body wash. It was fine. I wouldn't repurchase it. It was okay, but again, I've got better things, so there's no point me having that. I used up the Drunk Elephant TLC. This is a glycolic night serum. I have had this sitting around for ages. I know people love this, but I find that Drunk Elephant formulations tend to irritate my skin. I don't know what it is. I've tried glycolic serums before and I've had no issue with them at this sort of strength. But this one sort of makes my face sort of feel a bit burny. So I used this on my body. It was very nice on my body, I have to say. My like chest area was loving it, nice and smooth. So I definitely neglect my body. But I would only use an expensive serum on my body if it was one I didn't want to use on my face. And that's exactly how I use this up. So I wouldn't repurchase it, but it was nice on the body and obviously it does something. It's just my face wasn't a fan of it. Smashbox Primer Oil. This is one that I tried to use as a primer. I tried to use it mixed with foundation. I've tried to use it in multiple ways to use it up, and it is a nice oil. I just found that it just made my makeup slide off my face because I do have oily skin. But I do like using face oils at night. My skin does like oils. It sort of oils sit on the skin for a very long time on me because I've got that oily barrier. So I find that I can't really wear them throughout the day. I ended up using this on my body just to use it up, and it was fine. It was nice, but I wouldn't repurchase the primer oil. I would yeah, I think I'd prefer to just use a rosehip oil because I find that sinks into my skin a lot better than other oils or oil blends. So if I did want to wear an oil on a daily basis, it would just be a rosehip oil. This little Nooks Anti-Fatigue Moisturising Cream. Again, I didn't love this. It was a bit, I don't know, it just felt very body lotion-ish for my face. I thought my face deserves a bit better than this, and I've got better in my stash. So yeah, again, I use that on my body just to use it up. Same goes for this product. This was a fairly new product that I got at an event only a couple months ago. This is the Secret Agent Probiotic Moisture Defense. I think the brand is Keep It Simple Skin. Yeah, Keep It Simple Skin. I found that this, firstly, I used it up pretty quickly, to be fair. I started using it on my face, and it is supposed to be like an all-in-one moisturizer. I just found it to be, and this is going to sound strange, this contains probiotics, hyaluronic acid, ceramides, antioxidants. So it's got like good things in it that, you know, theoretically I would like. This was just too light for my skin. I mainly use this at night. And I found that I had to I'd put it on after I have a shower, and there'd be like an hour or something between going to bed. And I'd actually have to go back into my bathroom and put a different moisturizer on top because I found that my skin was too dry with this. I don't think it hydrated my skin enough, which is unusual because I've got oily skin, and even just a light sort of gel often quenches the thirst of my skin, but this didn't do it. So there's something about this that, even though it's Keep It Simple Skin, wasn't effective enough for me. And this could have been maybe a better daytime moisturizer, but what I've been doing lately is actually using a serum that sort of hydrates and gives me whatever, and then I'll go in with a sort of nourishing SPF product, and I find that that's enough during the day. I don't need that extra layer of moisturizer underneath the SPF because the SPF generally moisturizes enough for me, and I didn't want to just add another layer for the sake of it because that's where things tend to feel too heavy, or my makeup tends to sort of slip off my face more. So yeah, I mainly use this at night, but because I got sick of it and I didn't like it, I ended up using it on my body. So there we go. I just didn't see the point of wearing a moisturizer that I then had to re-moisturize an hour later. It was silly. So those are the products that I used up in the last couple of months, and the products that I liked and didn't like after using them all. I will list them all in the description box if you missed the names of them. And now I have to go clean them out and take them to TerraCycle to recycle the packaging. So I'll be doing that this afternoon, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.